My parents made me track every physical touch with a point system, where hugs cost 50 points and we only got 1,000 per month. When my best friend's dad died and she sobbed in my arms, for 40 minutes, I used up 2,000 points comforting her at the funeral. Then I found security footage of my parents, touching freely, every night after making us kids count. Points all day, proving their entire system was just about controlling us. Growing up, I thought everyone's parents made them swipe their wristband before hugging goodnight. Dad had laminated charts on every wall showing the point values. Hugs cost 50 points, high fives were 15. Accidentally brushing past someone in the hallway was a 5-point penalty that had to be paid back before bed. We each got 1,000 points monthly, displayed on LED screens in the kitchen that counted down with every touch. The first time I realized other families didn't live like this was at a friend's birthday party when I was 11. I watched in horror as kids casually hugged, wrestled, and gave each other piggyback rides without any documentation. When the birthday girl hugged me goodbye, I panicked and asked her mom where their point tracker was. The silence that followed still makes me cringe. When I asked my parents about it that night, my father finally explained his touch economic theory. He pulled out a binder full of research he'd compiled about how unregulated physical affection creates dependency and weakness. He showed me articles about attachment disorders, which he'd highlighted and annotated with notes like, "See, unlimited touching equals damaged children." He said the touch budget taught us to value physical contact and prevented us from becoming affection addicts who debase themselves for human contact. My mother nodded along, adding that people who touched freely were spending emotional currency they hadn't earned. She showed me her own childhood diary where her mother had made her log every hug, though without the sophisticated tracking system we had. Technology just makes it more accurate, she said. The system got worse after that conversation. Dad added touch quality scores, where he'd rate each physical interaction on authenticity and necessity. A comforting hug for my little sister when she fell off her bike cost me 50 points, plus received only a 3 out of 10 quality score because he deemed it excessive for a minor injury. He also introduced the touch detention room, a modified closet with padded walls where anyone who exceeded their monthly points had to sit in isolation for hours, equal to their point overage. My older brother spent 3 days in there once after his girlfriend visited, and they held hands without pre-purchasing a visitor touch package. The worst part was how it poisoned every physical interaction. When my sister got pneumonia at 14, I had to calculate whether I had enough points to hold her hand during her hospital stay. When she squeezed back weakly, Dad docked her 10 points for unauthorized reciprocal touching. I watched my points tick down on the hospital room monitor he'd installed, choosing between comforting my sick sister and saving points for my mom's birthday hug the next week. School became a minefield. I couldn't participate in sports because contact was too expensive. Group projects where someone might pat my shoulder could bankrupt my monthly allowance. I became known as the weird kid who flinched away from any contact, wearing thick clothes even in summer to avoid accidental brushes that would trigger my proximity alarm. Dating was obviously impossible. My parents required any potential romantic partner to sign a touch pre-agreement and purchase point packages in advance. They had a whole pricing structure for different relationship stages. Holding hands was 500 points per hour, hugs 100 points each. Kissing required a special license and cost half your annual point allocation. When I was 17, my best friend's father died suddenly in a car accident. At the funeral, she collapsed, sobbing into my arms. I held her while she shook, her tears soaking